can actually feel the burr here all the way along the edge. You feel it just with your finger. When I'm making sure that I've got a burr all the way down that back side. This is the side I just polished with the coarse stone. And the way I like to work it is, take your coarse stone, and usually I have a brush with me, a bristle brush, but kind of out in the barn I don't have one with me. So I usually like to brush my stone. I've got a coarse side and drop it on a hard ground, you'll probably break it. The coarse side and the fine side. And I just polished this side with the coarse side, and what I'm looking for is a complete, a continuous scratch pattern. And I like to work the stone, hold the axe this way in my lap real tight against my leg, and rub it in a circular motion going into the blade. And I like to work backwards so that I can see the part that I've already polished as I work. And you can kind of see where your angle is at, so you want to make sure you polish the whole blade. An axe blade isn't perfectly flat at the bevel. It's got a slight curve to it. So as you're polishing, you're going to see, as you're polishing down the blade, you're going to see a streak where you've polished. And you want to make sure you polish the entire bevel here. So you have consistent scratch patterns with the coarse stone. You can actually see the scratch patterns. And then you want to check for the burr along the back edge and make sure the opposite side has a burr all along the edge. Okay. Then you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. Okay, so I'm going to flip the axe over. Now I'm going to do the other side. And again, I'm going to take the coarse stone, I'm going to rub it all the way down, turn it a quarter turn, always the same way in my hand so you don't get a hollow point or any concave action in your stone. You want it to wear evenly, so rotate it a quarter of a turn between each, every minute or so. So here I'm going to go down the entire bevel here. You can kind of just feel how the stone rests on the bevel, and as you go down the stone, I can see exactly what part I'm polishing. Let's see if you can see it better this way. And you can kind of feel how the stone rests on the bevel, and control it that way. You can also go by feel. When I hit a burr on that edge, I can actually feel it on the stone. So I'll rotate it. I think I kind of got the burr off there. Now I'll go turn a quarter turn on with my my stone and continue with my coarse side. And you need to apply pressure here, so you're going to push as you polish. And I can see right down the bevel. As I go, I can see where I bend. Now to get this end, since I'm cutting into the stone, to get this bottom tip, what I like to do is either turn it on its end and go into that last edge, or flip it around, and polish it the other way. So, same technique. And you can still see, too, if you turn a little bit on its side and you tilt your head, you can usually see the same polish. You see where you bend. Polishing up the last part here. You can see I've got a continuous scratch pattern I polished the entire bevel, and if you feel the back, I've got a burr along the entire thing. Maybe a little bit more here I think I need. So again, I'm just going to turn the stone a little bit and polish this end because I didn't feel the burr that I wanted to on this end with the coarse stone. You want to make sure whatever part you do, you blend it into the rest of the blade. You want everything to have a continuous bevel. It's really important. Everything to be at in the same line. You don't want any parts ground down more than the other. So I'll feel, yep, I've got the burr there now. So then what I like to do is I'll flip my stone over and I'll go to my fine side and I'll complete the entire process again. Polishing the entire bevel here, checking for a burr. It's going to be really a smaller burr this time. It's not going to be as noticeable, but you can still feel it with the fine stone, and you can kind of work that back and forth. After I do both sides, I'll polish the bevel just a little bit on one side and then a little bit on the other, and that wire edge will either fall off, or you can rub the axe against your leg, or if you don't want to ruin your jeans, a clean piece of wood. Keep making sure that you keep the angle such that you're not dulling the edge. Don't make it too steep where you're actually gulling it. You can also use a piece of leather, an old belt, and they actually make honing compound, which is like a paste with a grit in it. You can get at Woodcraft and other wood working supply stores, and you rub it into the leather. Now I use that for chisels and things like that, but and blades. But for my axe, I don't think it's really necessary. This is kind of a rough edge tool, and just stropping it on a piece of wood or something like that will get the wire edge off enough where it's not going to affect the cutting blade as much. So that's my video on how to sharpen an axe with a stone in the field.